Now, most fitness trackers tell you what happened yesterday. They tell you how many steps you took, how many calories you burned, how long you slept. But what if the more important question isn't what happened yesterday? What if it's whether the choices you're making today are actually helping you live a longer, healthier life? Now, I've been testing the Hume Band 2.0 for the last month. And unlike most wearables I've used, its biggest focus isn't fitness, it's longevity. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 big things that stood out after using it every day, including the one feature that estimates your pace of aging, and another that completely changed how I think about recovery. And stick around until the end because I'll compare it against the Apple Watch, Whoop, Aura Ring, and Fitbit so you can decide if it's actually worth buying. Let's get into it. Now, most of us buy a fitness tracker because we want to get healthier, right? Maybe you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to sleep better, you're exercising more, let's just say. Those are great goals, don't get me wrong, okay? But they're only part of a bigger picture. The question is, are those habits actually improving your long-term health? That's really what longevity is all about. Now, instead of asking how many calories did I burn today, you're asking, are the choices I'm making today helping me live a longer, healthier life? Now, that's a completely different mindset, and it's the philosophy behind the Hume Band 2.0. Instead of simply collecting health data, it's designed to help you understand how your daily habits influence your health over months and years, not just today. Now, what is the Hume Band 2.0? The Hume Band 2.0 is a wearable health tracker that's designed around longevity. Of course, it tracks things you'd expect like activity, sleep, heart rate, recovery, and daily movement. But what makes it different is how it combines all of that information into health insights that are meant to help you make better long-term decisions. And when paired with the Hume Pod Body Analyzer, it creates an ecosystem that connects your daily habits with your body composition over time. Now, instead of just seeing isolated numbers, you start seeing the bigger picture. This was easily one of the most interesting features here. It's called metabolic momentum. And honestly, I haven't seen any other wearable present health data quite like this. Now, rather than overwhelming you with dozens of separate numbers, Hume combines multiple health signals into one longevity-focused score. It estimates 2 things, okay? Your pace of aging and your estimated days of life added based on your current habits. Now, obviously, no wearable can predict the future, okay? But I really like what Hume is trying to accomplish here. Instead of obsessing over step counts or calorie burn, it's encouraging you to think about how today's decision could impact your future health. It's a much more meaningful way to stay motivated. Now, rather than asking, did I close my activity ring today? You're asking, am I actually moving in the right direction for my long-term health? And I think that's a much healthier mindset. Now, the next feature is called metabolic capacity. And this one really clicked with me. The easiest way to think about this is like your body's battery. Every morning you wake up with a certain amount of available energy. Throughout the day, that battery gets drained, like from exercise, from your work, maybe some stress, poor sleep, busy schedules. Everything takes energy. Now, the Hume Band looks at 3 major components: capacity, recovery, and strain. Then it generates a personalized capacity report that helps you understand how much energy your body realistically has available. Now, I actually appreciate this because instead of constantly telling you to push harder, it encourages balance. Now, some days, of course, your body is ready for an intense workout. Other days, it might be smarter to recover, right? For longevity, recovery is just as important as training. Now, one feature that I think a lot of people will find fascinating is the biological age. We all know our chronological age, right? That's simply how many birthdays you've celebrated. Biological age is very different. It attempts to estimate how your body is functioning based on your health data. Now, this isn't a medical diagnosis, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's simply another way to understand your overall health trends. What's interesting is watching how your lifestyle changes may influence this number over time. Better sleep, better recovery, more activity, and possibly better nutrition. All of those habits can contribute to improving your long-term health. Now, instead of chasing a small number on a scale, you're focusing on building healthier habits. Now, I think that's exactly the message Hume is trying to communicate here. Now, another feature that really stood out to me is Hume's AI-powered chronic illness awareness. This is not a medical diagnosis. Again, it doesn't replace your doctor. Instead, it looks for patterns in your health data that may be worth paying attention to, okay? Think of it as an awareness tool, something that encourages you to be proactive about your health instead of reactive. One thing to know is that this feature requires about 30 days of wearable data before it's available. So if you're just starting out, you won't see it immediately. I really appreciate that Hume positions this as a tool to help people become more aware of their health rather than making medical claims. Now, this is probably where everything finally comes together for me. Now, the Hume Band tracks things like sleep, recovery, stress, heart rate, daily activity, metabolic momentum, metabolic capacity, biological age. Now, meanwhile, the Hume Pod tracks body fat percentage, muscle mass, visceral fat, hydration, and over 40 body composition metrics. Now, when you combine both devices, you're no longer looking at isolated pieces of information. You're connecting your daily habits with actual changes happening inside your body. For example, maybe you're sleeping better, your recovery improves, your activity becomes more consistent. Then a few weeks later, you start seeing improvements in your body fat percentage or muscle mass inside the Hume Pod. That's a much more complete picture of your health than simply stepping on a scale once a week. And honestly, I think that's where the Hume ecosystem really shines. Of course, none of this matters if you don't actually wear it, right? Thankfully, the Hume Band is lightweight and comfortable that after a few days, I honestly forgot I even had it on. That's important because the more accurate your long-term trends become. The best health tracker isn't necessarily the one with the most feature. It's the one you'll actually wear every single day. Now, let's compare it against some of the biggest names here, like the Apple Watch, right? If you're looking for a smartwatch first, Apple Watch is still incredibly hard to beat. You get calls here, texts, apps, notifications, payments. It's much more than a health tracker, obviously, right? Now, the Hume Band takes a different approach. It's built specifically around health insight and longevity rather than smartwatch feature. And as you can see here, it's a lot slimmer and smaller. Now, Whoop has become very popular among athletes because of its recovery tracking. But one thing to remember is that Whoop requires an ongoing subscription to access its platform. With Hume, your health data isn't locked behind that kind of reoccurring membership. If you don't like monthly fees, that's a pretty important difference. Now, the Oura Ring is another excellent wearable that's heavily focused on sleep and recovery. Like Whoop, many of its advanced health insights require an ongoing subscription. The Hume Band offers a different ownership experience without that reoccurring cost for accessing your health data. Now, Fitbit remains one of the most popular health trackers for everyday users. Actually, my first health tracker is a Fitbit. It does a great job tracking activity and sleep. The biggest difference here is Hume's focus on longevity metrics and how well it integrates with the Hume Pod to connect wearable data with body composition. After wearing the Hume Band 2.0 for the past month, I don't think its biggest strength is counting steps or tracking workouts. What stood out to me the most is that everything revolves around one goal: helping you make better decisions for your long-term health. Now, features like metabolic momentum, metabolic capacity, biological age, and AI-powered health awareness all encourages you to think beyond today's workout and start thinking about where your health is heading years from now. And when you pair it with the Hume Pod, you begin connecting your daily habits with your body composition in a way that's actually meaningful. If you're someone who's serious about improving your health, not just your fitness, okay? I think that's what makes the Hume ecosystem unique. Check it out in the link down in the description below. Let me know in the comments below, what's the biggest health goal you're working towards right now? Better sleep, more energy, losing body fat, building muscle, or simply living a longer, healthier life? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!